Now on to the official actions of our ceremony, beginning with the valedictorian. The valedictorian is chosen from among a small group of undergraduate majors with the highest grade point averages. This year, we have selected Rhonda Adato. Not only has she excelled in all her academic work at Berkeley, but she has completed a double major in art history and in English, writing an honours thesis in each of the two departments. Her essays have been published in the Northwestern Art Review and in the upcoming issue of the Berkeley Undergraduate Journal. On campus, Rhonda has served as Vice President for both the History of Art Club and the Women's Club Water Polo team. In addition, she's been an intern at the San Diego Museum of Art and also in the office of US Representative Bob Filner in Washington, D.C. In the fall, she's going to law school at George Washington University in Washington, D.C. Please welcome Rhonda Adato.
Thank you, Professor Hallett. The University of California is a big, big place. When I entered Cal for the first time, my brother explained its social structure to me in this way. Cal is a big enough place that if there is something weird about you, there's probably about 20 other kids who are weird in the same way. I believe that UC Berkeley is wonderful because we learn to value what is singularly unique about us here, even in the midst of a huge community. I like to say that I became a person at Cal. It happened gradually through an accumulation of experiences. It was an accumulation of small but significant moments. One such moment occurred while reading Linda Naucklin's essay, Courbet's Real Allegory, Rereading the Painter's Studio. In the article, Naucklin asked, "Why have there been no great women artists?" The question arrived with stunning clarity, bringing to light a reality I had not even considered before. Why haven't there been any great women artists? To answer Nauklin's question, I read the feminist theorist Simone de Beauvoir, and then moved on to her successor, Judith Butler. Their work led me on to Claude Levi-Strauss, and then to Hegel. Soon I began to analyze Shakespeare's treatment of women in his plays. I wrote on Geoffrey Chaucer's construction of his queens, and then on to Gustave Courbet's nudes in my classes. If there is a clear narrative to my work at Cal, it is the investigation of the treatment of women in art and literature. I realize now that these papers all ask a single question: what does it mean to be a woman? I cannot say that I have ever discovered a definitive answer, but I don't think it really matters. It is instead the process of asking, reading, and discussing that is most important. It is through this process that one discovers other voices and perspectives. My research on women is an example of the educational model at Cal. At Cal, we privilege the question above the answer. It is useful simply to ask. Intellectual curiosity, along with a degree of skepticism, is infinitely useful. Ultimately, I have come to realize that the category of woman is negotiable. I have arrived at many conclusions of what it is to be female. I have concluded at times that to be a woman is to be transcribed in a patriarchal society, that it is also that it is biologically inherent, and that it is a matter of adopting certain behaviors. At times, I have decided that it is a function of oppression, and later that it is a function of freedom to express emotion. Womanhood has seemed an unfairly strict categorization and a position of greater creative license. I have personally seized upon the costume of the intellectual girl, the jock girl, the meek girl, and the aggressive girl. It's like stage costuming, but it is up to me, up to my own wishes and ambitions. Fellow undergraduates, this isn't a speech about being a woman, about being a man, or even about the basic definition of gender. What I really mean to tell you is that your fate is your own. You can choose what gender you are, what you read, what you write, and how you present yourself. I contemplated writing this speech about the usefulness of public service, but then I realized that choice lies solely with you. Your fate is entirely within your control. Consider yourselves blank canvases. You are entering an entirely new world, whether it be graduate school, traveling, or beginning a new job. I advise you to never be afraid to change or to don a new costume and renegotiate your character. It will make life definitively more adventurous. Cal is a place where we became people, choosing the sports and clubs and majors that came to define us. But those designations are all about to disappear. The transition to the real world is frightening, but it is also a great opportunity. You don't get the chance to reinvent yourself very often. Have fun. I would like to end with what I consider the most important part of my speech. I would like to thank my parents. Mom, Dad, my being up here right now, this is all your fault. Thank you for your support, for calling me before every midterm and final I ever took here, to give me your blessing, and for being wonderful examples. Of all my plans for the future, the one I deem most important is to love my children as you have loved me. Thank you. I would also like to thank my sister Daphne and my almost sister Terry for being here today. My brother Mark could not be with us today, but I would like to thank him for his love and guidance as well. Congratulations to the 2010 graduating class of the History of Art Department at Cal. We made it.
Rhonda Rachel Adato.
Yeah!
Francesca Alcamo. Kelsey Bates.